In the past couple of months, LinkedIn has made some changes that could significantly impact how B2B marketers go about their advertising campaigns. So in this video, I'm going to be diving into what you need to know about these changes and how you can start using them to get better results from your marketing efforts. So the most impactful thing that LinkedIn has changed recently, and one of the things they've now added into the LinkedIn Campaign Manager, is this companies report that you'll see under the plan section. So this has been gradually rolled out, so you may still not have this feature available. It became available in the UK a few months ago now. But what this is going to allow you to do is to see both organically and from your paid campaigns which companies have actually been engaging with your content. The reason this is so powerful is because this is going to allow you, if you're doing any kind of outbound campaigns, or you have an outbound team, you have SDRs who are working, reaching out to target accounts or businesses in conjunction with the paid media campaigns, you can then use these insights to give your sales team the signals they need of when to reach out to certain businesses, right? When a lead has been warmed up sufficiently. So if we know there is a particular account that we're targeting and we've had several engagements on our organic post or on our paid content, that could be a great time for that sales rep, for that SDR to reach out to this account because we've now warmed it up. They've been seeing the content. So this can be extremely powerful. Now, this gives us a good overview, again, from an organic and a paid perspective. So to get more granular insights on this, LinkedIn also has a feature that's been available for quite some time now, which is to be able to view the demographics on specific ads, specific campaigns, specific audiences. You can get as granular as you want here. They've recently changed the naming of this to professional demographics. So if you click on one of your campaigns within Campaign Manager and then click on the professional demographics button, you will see a graph that looks very similar to this. You can then change what you're seeing on here. So you can filter this down by specific job titles to see what job titles are engaging with your ads. You can filter this down again to specific companies. And then depending on the type of ad, the type of campaign. So for example, if it's a video views campaign, you can actually see which companies have completed a video, which have viewed it all the way through. And more importantly, which videos are performing best. So this is amazing for giving you insights, even just from an audience research perspective, to understand what kind of content is working best with certain segments of our audience. So this can then give you the data you need to be able to refine these campaigns over time and make really hyper-targeted, hyper-specific campaigns that are actually getting consumed by your target audience, because this is really the most important thing, right? And especially if you're in a business where you maybe have very long buying cycles, where that lead might not come in for several months, the consumption of content is obviously key. What you need to make sure is that the content you're putting out there is being seen by the right individuals at the right target accounts. So it's great if we can see that we're getting impressions from our target accounts, but if we then look and see, okay, we're not getting clicks, or we're not getting views, or the completion rate is very low on these videos, we can then test different videos to see, hang on a minute, this video is now producing better results. We're actually getting views on this video, we're getting completions on this video. So there are so many ways in which you can use this to begin optimizing your campaigns over time, not only to be able to give signals to the sales team to reach out to the leads when they've been warmed up, but also as a marketing department for you to be able to optimize and make sure you're getting the best content out to these individuals. So this is where I'll come back to that we built out that we often refer to. So if we're running, for example, video views campaigns at the top of funnel, this is where you now have the ability to experiment with different hooks, with different headlines. What is grabbing people's attention? What's getting them to actually view the video, what's increasing our view rate, and then what type of content is working best with certain segments of our audience, whether that be specific job roles, specific companies, whatever that might be, to make sure that we are actually getting our content seen by the right people. The biggest change here that this really unlocks is a new way for us to approach marketing. Instead of how in the past marketers have been obsessed with direct attribution from ad platforms, it is only getting harder and harder to attribute leads directly to campaigns. Even with all of these new third-party attribution platforms coming out, there are always going to be different ways, especially in B2B where you've got complex buying cycles, where somebody might see an ad campaign, they then mention the company or your company to a colleague in a team meeting. The colleague then goes on to Google to search for you guys, and that lead is then submitted via Google. You would then have no idea that that lead has come through LinkedIn. So to only go based on the attribution that you see from your CRM can actually be really damaging, because you can begin turning off campaigns that may actually be producing results. And this is where the shift comes in, that as B2B marketers, we need to start looking at these other measures, these signals, this data we can get to understand, are we getting the right content to our target audience that we want to get it to, and is that content actually being consumed? Because if it is, we know that we can bring someone closer to a buying decision. Now again, in more complex sales cycles where you're selling something maybe higher value or it's a longer buying cycle, there is probably going to be an element of outbound required maybe to get that customer over the line. Or maybe you will get that lead in, but you wouldn't necessarily know that it's come from LinkedIn. This is only really going to come from self-reported attribution, right? So if you've got where did you hear about us, or how did you hear about us on your calendar bookings and things like that. But also just interviewing your customers as well when you're getting new leads in, speaking to them, understanding what that buying process is. Hey, how did you find out about us? And if people say, oh, a colleague mentioned, oh, would you mind asking your colleague like how they heard about us? And, you know, if you're worried about your sales team doing that, maybe your sales team don't want to do that. Even as marketing teams, sometimes incentivizing and, you know, offering customers vouchers or whatever it is to get on a call with them and just learn more about how they came to that buying decision. This is so underutilized in the marketing space, but it is so critical, especially when we're dealing with more complex buying cycles, to really understand what are the different elements. You know, are customers using forums? Are they using certain member groups? Are they speaking to their peers? Are there podcasts they're listening to? Because then we start to understand and be able to build a picture of what are going to be the relevant channels, the relevant content we can put out to getting somebody closer to a buying decision, which is going to boost your overall marketing results. And in this next video coming up, I'm going to be walking you through how to start creating a content framework for your business to make sure that you're getting your content seen by your target accounts more often. I'll see you there.